I'm gonna go over my favorite 3-count head body hook combinations once you get close to your opponent. Let's begin. Throwing hard, fast, inside combinations is the bread and butter of the Peekaboo boxing style. When watching Floyd Patterson, Jose Torres, Mike Tyson, any Peekaboo style fighter, they like to move their head, they get close, and they fire those rapid, close quarter combinations to the head and body. Hand speed is a plus. That's why Customato used the Willy bag and created the punch number system with Jose Torres to be able to speed up his combinations. He wants to be able to throw 2 punches at the sound of 1, okay? But you also gotta realize there's a time and place for speed and there's a time and place for power. A lot of times people focus too much on speed and then they spar. Sure, they're fast, but they do no damage to their opponent. The term bad intentions is real simple. You're gonna punch as fast as you can and while putting as much body weight and power and dynamite into those punches. Now I'm gonna show you the difference here in a minute. So the first 3-count combination or inside combinations we're gonna focus on is I'm gonna start with the right hand to the body and I'm gonna go body, body, head. So going 2 hooks to the body and then finishing with that right hook to the head. Now I'm just for the sake of most people are right-handed, I'm gonna show these combinations as an orthodox right-handed fighter. So the first one's gonna be, remember you gotta start and close. When you get close to your opponent, you can't stand upright. You gotta crouch down. You don't wanna bend over and put your head down, but you wanna crouch down, get your hands up on your face. Because the closer you are to your opponent, the slower your reflexes or your response time to his punches is gonna be. So having that tight structure, having that tight defense on the inside is very important. So the first one I'm gonna start with is obviously I'm gonna go body, body, head, and I'm gonna move my head, okay? If you're a Peekaboo stylist, you gotta move your head after your last punch. If you don't wanna move your head after your last punch, you don't have to. Sometimes when I'm taller than my opponent, I don't wanna move my head, I'll just crash into him and lean into him. So I'll create space, throw my shots, and then crash and put my body weight on them, kind of like how Lennox Lewis used to do it. But most of the time, I'm gonna try to move my head and change the angle because it's very important. Your opponent's gonna punch back to where your head was last at. And if you move your head, you'll see the punches start going over your head and missing. So first one is, now I'm gonna do it for speed. Watch the difference. I'm not gonna try to drive in and really penetrate the heavy bag. I want it for speed. So I'm gonna go body, body, head. So I'm inside, and I can move my head after my last punch. So I'm using more, I'm still moving my body, I'm still putting some pop behind it, but I'm using more speed. What it is I'm not trying to really drive those body hooks and that head hook into it. I'm just using more contact, surface contact with the punch. I'm not really trying to drive in. Because there's a time I gotta get my punches off fast. Okay, so again, I'm gonna go body, body, head. Okay, now, this is how you're gonna build your arsenal. This is how you're gonna build your variety and combinations. Because whatever I start with on my rear hand side, I can do the opposite side. It's a reciprocal. So if I go body, body, head on this side and then move my head, I can start on my left side and go body, body, head. So right now I got 2 combinations I can throw and I can work it. So a good way to train this is just get on the heavy bag, put a 90-second, 2-minute clock, 3-minute clock on, and just go back and forth between these 2 combinations. Do one side, then the other side. Do one side, then the other side. So that's what it's gonna look like. So I'm here, and I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna go for more speed on these. I can move my head. Move my head. You see I'm crouching down and staying low in my stance. That's used more for speed. Now, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna put some bad intention behind, I'm gonna put some body. I'm trying to hurt him now. I'm really putting every inch into that punch. So this is now with power. You can see right away, it's a little bit slower, obviously. The reason why is because when you go for speed, you use more arm speed, more arm in the punches, even though I'm still rotating and moving my body. But when I go power, I do full rotations. I really rotate into each punch. Now you got to keep in mind there's an energy consumption when you use speed and power. Obviously, if I'm putting everything into every punch, I'm using more energy and have a tendency to get tired more quickly. Maybe more arm punches, you know, I'm saving or conserving energy. So that is the first combination, is going to be body, body, head, and the reciprocal body, body, head. The second variation of these hook inside 3-count combination is the first one with body, body, head. But now I'm going to start with the body again. I'm going to go body, but this time I'm going to go head, head. So the first one was body, body, head. This one's going to be body, head, head. I'm going to do it for speed, and then I'll do it for power. So speed. Okay, now I'm going to do it for power. Okay, now I'm going to do the reciprocal, which is the other side. So I'm going to start here, body, head, head. So go for speed. Now I'm going to go for power. Really putting everything into that. Emotional content, like Bruce Lee said in Enter the Dragon. Not anger, emotional contact. But I'm just putting bad intentions. I'm trying to hurt my opponent. All right, I'm really trying to go hard. Now, the more you train these heavy combinations on the bag, the more energy and cardio you're gonna have to be able to do these combinations in sparring. If you don't train for speed and power, or you don't punch with bad intentions when you train, then when you get into a fight and you try to do it, sure, you're punching hard, but you're gassed because you don't have the cardio to back up those types of combinations. So that is the second one, is body, head, head. You can see there's a pattern I'm doing. The next one's going to start with the hook to the head. The first two started with the hook to the body. Now I'm going to start with the hook to the head. So what I can do is I'm going to do 2 head hooks and then end with a body hook. Okay, I can go head, head, body. Okay, so head, head, body. Now I can do it for speed. Okay, or I can do it with power. Really put everything into it. And remember, what I can do on one side, I can do on the other side. So I can go head, head, body. Speed. Okay, or power. Okay, my power shots are so fast, don't get me wrong, okay? But they're not as fast as arm punching. So anytime you want to see speed versus power, it's usually I take some of the full body rotation out of it for hand speed. Okay, so that is the third variation. Let me do a quick review. You got body, body, head, body, head, head. Okay, and then you got head, head, body. Make sure you do both sides. Now let's move on to the next one. The next one is I'm going to go to the body. So I'm going to start with the head hook and then end with 2 body hooks. So I'm going to be here. I'm going to go to hook to the head, body, body. Okay, again, hook to the head, body, body. Go for speed. Then I'm going to go for power. Okay, remember, I can do it on one side, I can do it on the other side. So I'm going to start with the head. I'm going to go head, body, body. Go for speed. I'm going to go for power. Okay, time and place for each combination, speed or power. That is the next combination. This final combination is going to start with the head hook, drop down to a body hook, and then go back to the head hook. So it's going to be high, low, high. So I'm here, I'm going to start hook, hook, hook. So I'm changing levels. I can do it for speed. Okay, I can do it for power. Moving my body into each punch. Remember, I got the reciprocal. Now I can do it on the other side. I can go head, body, head. Do it for speed. Move my head or power. Move my head after my last punch. That is the final 3-punch hook combination that I want to share with you today. But there are other variations of all these combinations. In this video, I focus on nothing but hooks to the head, hooks to the body. But at any point, you can slip in the uppercut to the head. Okay, so to give you an example, the first one where I went body, body, head. Okay, I can go body, body, uppercut. Or I can go body, uppercut, hook. so you can add and multiply all your different inside fighting combinations. So how I like to do it is I like to start with the hooks to the head and body, and then when I throw a solid 3 count or 4 count, then I bring the uppercut up the middle. Let me give you an example. The first one I go body, body, head, and then I like to bring the uppercut up. Okay, or I can go body, body, head, bring that lead uppercut up. Because a lot of times what happens is when you do these fast combinations, they either shell up or T-Rex, or they crouch over. And that's perfect. So if they're T-Rex, shelled up here, leaning back, you could bring that uppercut right up the middle. But if they're bent over, again, they're gonna be right in line for your lead or rear uppercut. So that is it. Work these heavy bag combinations, get good at them, and then once you get good at them on the heavy bag, then start drilling them with a partner and start employing them when you spar.